All right, I'm down at a camp in Fourchon today for a media event promoting the Golden Meadow-Fourchon Tarpon Rodeo that's coming up at the end of this month. But the plan today is to go offshore and catch some red snapper. Even though it's really blowing right now, it's gonna be a bumpy ride. Come along with us. All right, so Neil, what are we fishing here?
Fishing for red snapper. We have about 130 feet of water at an old wreck. I think it's an old platform that was decommissioned and put here.
It's an area you fished before?
Yeah, we fished here a good bit last year. We hadn't fished it here this year yet. This is the first time we'll fish at this spot.
All right.
Now when that first fish takes it, you're going to see the rod tip go down, right. Reel up about 5 cranks and wait. Okay. And what's going to happen is that one fish that's on the hook kind of makes a frenzy, and then all the other ones are going to jump on it, and we'll reel it up afterwards.
Right, Admiral.
Get him, Admiral.
Get him, Mike.
Just reel it so he's good. Yes, sir. All right,
Oh, there you go.
take it.
Somebody go get it. That didn't take long.
Full pull.
Goodness. 4 snapper. Goodness. Yep.
Yeah, pull it on.
The endangered red snapper. Boy, one keeper at least, huh?
Got 3, Mike. That's good. There you go.
Goodness.
Is he watch that? Yeah, watch that week.
2 drops, 7 snapper. All right, y'all get ready. I don't think it's gonna take very long.
I'm ready.
It's gotta be just carpeted with snapper down there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's
It's the
insane.
beginning of the season, so
Yeah,
it's probably had 2 good days so far that people could get on.
right.
So you can see the natural bottom is at about 130, but that's the platform, the sunken platform. Wow. It comes off the bottom, probably to 75 feet.
So Blake, how many made the team on that one? Out of those 7, how many made the team? 6? Wow.
Ready?
All right, first stop was over a wreck, a cutoff rig, absolutely loaded with red snapper. We got half the limit already on maybe 3 or 4 drops. Now they fish 4 hook rigs, so you can catch as many as 4 at a time, which we did once. But we're heading now to a platform up ahead, real close in the same area. See if we can find some bigger fish. The ones we caught back there were, I don't know, 16 to 18 inches, not very big. Certainly legal. Had a couple of throwbacks, but you know, those are good eaters anyway. So, well, we're gonna see if we got some bigger ones here. Triple, at least 1 keeper.
Yep.
Crazy. So Blake, for those who don't know, what's the point of the tubing?
It's chafing gear. When it goes in their mouth.
Just from where on the line?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And what size are your hooks?
5-aught.
Yeah, I'll man that one if you want to go do something different.
Yeah, just wait till it hits the bottom and then
Crank it up a little bit. Okay. You're hitting it on the way down. There's one.
That's up.
There's one. Got it deep?
Oh yeah, you choked.
17.
One more.
Got an inch to spare. That's it, we're done.
We got him.
Hell of a trip, y'all. I mean,
Good trip.
now we got to get 4 fish before.
All right, snapper fishing is obviously just as easy as it gets right now. Just tons and tons and tons of fish. Now, we didn't catch many really big snapper. We ended up catching one that was about 10 pounds, but most of the fish were between 16 and 18 inches. And believe me, I was not complaining because those are the best to eat. And I'm gonna show you my favorite thing to do with them. Super easy and really, really delicious. Now, first thing I always do is start my cast iron skillet to get that good and hot. I want it smoking before I put my fish in. It's not to that point yet, but it will be momentarily. Let me show you the ingredients. All right, first off is butter. I like Kerrygold butter, just a whole lot better for you. Garlic powder, hot sauce. I like the Hawk sauce. And Lee & Perrins Worcestershire. Don't go with a cheaper Worcestershire. If you happen to have it in your pantry, totally fine to use. Lee & Perrins though is definitely the best, no question about it. Oh, and of course, the most important ingredient, the red snapper. Now, I store my fish in a Ziploc bag, surrounded with ice, in my fridge. It'll last at least 2 weeks, really even probably 3 weeks, if you constantly keep ice on it. I did a whole video on that. I'll link to it here if you haven't seen it yet. Definitely something you want to check out to see the reasons why you want to do this with your fish. All right, 2 ingredients I didn't mention, but I probably should have. Kosher salt and black pepper. Everybody has those in their house, at least salt. Kosher salt's better. I like the crunchiness of it, but if you don't, you can use regular table salt, totally fine. Okay, I've already eaten most of the snapper I took home, but I do have 2 fillets left to show you what I do. Now, I don't bother with cutting the bloodline out of these snapper because they're so small, it's just not offensive. If it was a really big snapper, I would probably cut the bloodline out and basically make 2 different fillets out of each fillet, if that makes sense. All right, first thing I do is fill my hand with kosher salt and sprinkle that on the fish. Pretty generous amount. After that, we'll go with fresh cracked black pepper. It's better. You can certainly use regular pepper if that's all you got. Now you want to put the seasoning on the flat side of the fish. Talk about that a lot. You don't want to put it on the belly side of the fish because the fish will curl in the pan. Put it on the flat side of the fish, the side that the skin was on. Okay, if you notice, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but our pan is definitely smoking. I really love avocado oil. It's got a high smoke point, doesn't burn easily, and it's not a seed oil. Seed oils are terrible for you. I'm super health conscious, so I really like avocado oil. It costs a little bit more, but well worth it. We're gonna pour some of that into our pan. Let the oil heat up just a second, and then we go ahead and add our fish. Here we go. Now I dried these fillets, definitely important, with a paper towel to minimize the splash, but you always do have a little bit of a splash. Not too bad. And now we just let them do their thing. Really important that you not get impatient when you're searing your fish. You want that side to have a really good crust on it. Obviously, there's a fine line. If you let it go too long, you'll burn it. But you want it almost right to the edge of being burnt, but not quite. Believe me, sometimes I get impatient and flip it too early. Hopefully I don't today. Obviously, I'm doing this in a cast iron skillet. Go ahead and invest in one. It's really the only way to cook fish, period. If you got a non-stick skillet or something like that, throw it out. Don't even use it. This is the way to go. They're not very expensive and well worth every penny you'll pay for them. All right, you see we're getting a good crust on the edges. We're getting close. I'm gonna let it go another 30 seconds or so, and I'm gonna flip it. Here we go. I like to use a butter knife to push against. All right, not the best sear, but it'll do. Believe me, it'll be delicious. Better on that one. All right, you cook your fish much less on the second side than you do the first side. So we're about done. We're gonna take them out. Worst thing you can do is overcook your fish. I'd much rather it undercooked than overcooked. All right, now the fun part. So we've got all this nice fish crust and seasoning and stuff in this pan. We're gonna go ahead and add some butter to that. About that much. A couple of tablespoons maybe. We already turned our fire off. Very important. We go ahead and put our butter in, spread it around. Let it go ahead and deglaze this pan and collect all that little bits of fish and seasoning along with it. All right, once it's melted, we'll add our Worcestershire. Good amount. Only bad thing about Worcestershire is not enough of it. Add some hot sauce to taste. I don't really like very spicy food, but this hot sauce is really, really tasty. It's very good. Add some garlic powder and just mix it all up. And that's gonna be our sauce. Man, does it smell good. Whew! Cannot wait to eat this. All right, go ahead and spoon some of that onto our fish. You see, I got some sauce remaining. I got a little bit of leftover broccoli. I'm gonna throw that in there, get in that sauce. Add that to my plate. Now the really fun part. Look at this. Boy, does that look good. All right, just came out of the pan, so it's definitely smoking. I made this yesterday. Today's is actually even better. Just delicious. Make this at home. Yummy.